Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk. I'm your host Rob, and this video we're going to continue our March to the King, reviewing every Godzilla movie leading up to the release of the 2014 Godzilla movie. And this week we're going to be reviewing The Son of Godzilla. Okay, guys, welcome back. So, I know last week I trashed hard on Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, and I thought I was going to do the same thing with Son of Godzilla, and I finally saw the movie. I've been trying to look for ways to watch it because I don't have the original version. There's just some Godzilla movies I have no interest in buying. Uh, but I was able to find it online, and I watched it. And after watching it, while it is cheesy, while the plot is ridiculous, there's some charming elements about it that I think if you're a child watching this movie, it's the kind of movie where you can, as a kid, grab your dad and ask him to watch it with you. It's got some cute moments, and it's got some almost some lesson learning if you're a kid. So I think from that perspective, it has some value. Just to go over the plot real quick, basically, there's an island where these scientists are working on a weather system or trying to manipulate weather. The first test goes a little bit south. It attracts Godzilla to the island. Apparently, there's an egg that's unearthed by these large praying mantises, and Godzilla gets on the island. He romps on the science facility, engages the mantises, and basically saves the egg. And he kind of just takes on this little guy, and away we go. And basically, throughout the movie, he starts off very small, and he starts eating these little melons that are being fed to him by a native girl. I don't remember her name now, but eventually he grows to about half of Godzilla's size, and we all know him now as it's either Minya or Manila. I guess those are the two names that he has, or that's how some people pronounce it. They go back and forth, whatever. So, and during the time he's growing, he's a baby. He's jumping over Godzilla's tail, and he has temper tantrums. But he's also trying to be. But Godzilla also tries to teach him how to be, how to protect himself, much like a father would to a son. And, he's got almost no sympathy for his little man. He'll pop him on the head or step on his tail and do whatever it takes to toughen him up. And eventually, there's one praying mantis left that is going after some of the people from the island, scientists, the native girl, and eventually what happens is they get stuck in a cave, and they get stuck in a cave, and there's a spider, which in the American version they call Spiga, but I think in Japan he's called Komanga. Or Kumonga, something along those lines. One of you will correct me if I'm wrong. I know you will. Anyway, so to make a long story short, little Godzilla gets involved in the fight. He gets entrapped by Spiga's web or Kumonga's web. Kumonga immediately kills or eats, or however you want to say it, the last praying mantis. And as he's about to engage or go after little Godzilla, Manila, Godzilla pops up, does a father-son tag team on the spider, gets rid of him. The scientists set off another weather balloon and puts the island like in the Ice Age, or it starts snowing there. So it goes from a tropical island to a winter island, and you see Godzilla and Manila hugging and keeping each other warm while they go into hibernation. So that's pretty much a rough gist of the story. You know, like I said, it's a tale of a father and son. I think obviously it's one of those movies during that time it was released that was geared towards children. I think the purpose of this movie was to have fathers and sons sit down and watch the movies together and just kind of relate to what they see on screen. And you know, that's not such a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Obviously, it doesn't work these days. You know, we're in a different generation where sappy stuff is looked upon a little bit differently. But I think to that effect, it has some value. You know, it's not your classic awesomeness Godzilla movie where he's fighting some big monster and there's crazy stuff going on. It's just a little tale about father and son and teaching sons the ropes of life and teaching him how to stand up for himself. And that is a classic message for a kid. And as I said, it's the kind of movie that back in the 70s when it came out, or late 60s, you sit down with your son, or as a son, you pull your father and say, let's watch this. And you relate to some of those things. Or your son will look at you and say, hey, Dad, you know, would you teach me that? And the father would say, yeah, son, that's right. That's how you do it. That's how you protect yourself. Just like little Manila there. And that's what it is. And is it something that we can enjoy now? I guess depends. I can't say that I would watch this movie now, and I can surely say that I wouldn't watch it with my son. He probably wouldn't be interested. While he seems to be liking watching those movies, he's still too young. But you know, it's decent for that, and that's it. You know, it's not your typical Godzilla movie where, you know, you're gonna run and say, oh, I want to watch something Godzilla. No, you're more than likely to say, I want to watch Godzilla vs. Mega Godzilla, or I want to watch GMK. But for what it was at the time it came out, it was a good, goody two-shoes message movie, father and son story. That's it. Better than Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, that's for sure. One of the best movies? No, not at all. Definitely not one of his best, but certainly not his worst. It's just a movie aimed at children. That's basically what it comes down to. We get to see the praying mantises, which are very cool. Giant spider was probably the best choice if you were trying to scare kids. You know, most kids don't like spiders, so that was a good choice for an antagonist in that movie. And you know, it probably taught some kids how to deal with their fears, much like Revenge of Godzilla, or excuse me, Godzilla's Revenge. But you know, overall, it was, while not one of the best additions to the series, it had a certain audience it was trying to target, and that was children. And I think in that case it was successful. But in terms of its overall appeal to other crowds, I don't think so. Not very successful. But hey, that's why he has 28 movies. They're not all going to be good. This one certainly wasn't the worst. It just was geared towards a niche audience, which were children, and that's basically it. So for that aspect, it was a good movie. I think it sent its message pretty well. But as an overall addition to the series, I don't think it was the greatest addition. So, but that's more or less my review. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. Please share your thoughts on Son of Godzilla. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think it sent a message to kids? Do you think it was a good message? And whatever else you want to comment on the movie. So take it easy, guys. I'll see you next video.